and welcome to Off the Tee. My name is Chris Exusion. You can find me at Chris Ebom on Twitter. Thanks for tuning in, checking in. This is a pop-up tea time, pretty much recapping what has happened in the RBC Heritage, and we're going to talk about some round 4 plays that I'm going to really like for matchups. But today was a great day. Ended up being 3-0 on matchup plays. The plays that I had today, hopefully you followed. Rory Sabatini minus 117 versus Garnett. Chris Kirk minus 148 versus Sepp Straka. And Abraham Answer finally getting a win with him over here, minus 129 versus Shane Lowry. So that was good to get the monkey off my back with Answer, because haven't had the best luck with him. But you know what? He came through today. 3-0 today. Well, 3-0-2. My two other matchups, they pushed for the most part. They tied, so you didn't win or lose. All my bets include the no tie, the tie, no bet. So that's what happened today. And just pretty much to recap what happened with the tournament today, Stuart Sink still in control. He's at minus 18 right now. Minus 2 on the day. Wasn't, the first 2 rounds he was just lighting it up for the most part. And so that's pretty much what happened. And minus 2 today, so nothing crazy. And our guy Colin Morikawa got my favorite guy to win the tournament. I got him at 20-1. Now he's around 4-1, somewhere in that ballpark. Morikawa's just had some really, really bad pitching. Putting for the most part. And I'm thinking baseball over here. I'm going to the Phillies game tomorrow, so I'm pretty jacked about that. Haven't been since the whole pandemic. But on to the golf now. Colin Morikawa, his putting has been terrible for the most part. Every time I watched him, he was missing 7-foot putts, and it was just simply not cutting it for the most part. And let me get his official numbers here. He is currently minus 1.19 strokes gained putting, so it's just not good. I felt like it was a lot worse. I'm shocked that it wasn't even that great. Let's see what he did today for the third round. He lost almost 2 strokes putting, so that was a big issue here. And if you guys have any question about bets or anything, I'm more than happy to answer them. Shoot them up in the comments section. Glad to hear them. I can check out any bets that you want to check out. But besides that, I'm getting into what else is going on. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate the support. Had a big day today, going 3-0. We still got a horse in the race with Colin Morikawa, and also we got a couple top 20s that could possibly pay out. So 2 guys that I had from when I talked from my show before were Michael Thompson and Tom Hoagie. So those were 2 guys. They're both at minus 6. They're currently 27th. Didn't have the best of days today. +1 for Thompson, +2 for Hoagie, but we're hoping to come back strong with them tomorrow, because we got them for really good odds. If you listen to the show, Michael Thompson is 4-1. Oh, I had him at 4-1 in the DraftKings. If you shop the number, you could get him at 5-1. I know PointsBet had that with Michael Thompson, and Tom Hoagie 6-1 as well. I was able to shop a better number than that from the book. I got that originally from 8-1 on PointsBet. So PointsBet had some really good numbers with that. So those are 2 right there that can clean up a lot of mess right there, and definitely put us in the winning mark. So. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Then that's pretty much it. It looks like it's just coming down to Morikawa. Simpson had a really good showing today. Sungjae M was -2. I don't know. I just don't feel like he could really pull away for the most part. I think his ball striking numbers got a little bit better this week. That's why he's playing really well. Webb Simpson was -7 today. I think that might have been the score, the round of the day, I believe. Let me see if I can bring that up. Yeah, it looks like I'm looking through right now, -7 for Webb Simpson. So that seems like a pretty good round for him. I just think it might be a little too late. We'll see. Stuart Sink's at -18. We'll see what the pressure comes to with Colin Morikawa, because it's going to be Sunday, and he's going against one of the best guys on the tour. PGA Players Champion, just an absolute monster. Won so many tournaments, won a major, won a World Golf Championship. I mean, he's big time. He's one of the best ball strikers on tour. If he actually figures out his putter at all finally on Sunday, then I think he has more than a shot to win this. So don't go too crazy on the Stuart Sink money yet. So let's see what Stuart Sink's at currently anyway. without Seward Sink. Now I want Seward Sink in there. Let's see. Seward Sink. So he's minus 275 to win. I think that's a lot of juice to lay. I know he's up a good amount of strokes. I mean, obviously he has a real good shot of winning this, but I don't know. It's a lot of juice for old man Stewart Sink, but we'll see. He's been feeling real comfortable. He's been playing. He's cooling down a little bit now. He's not having the big monster days now. He got -2 today. Nothing setting the world on fire. So we'll see. I mean, I already have Colin Morikawa to win, so I'm riding that. But he's plus 450. I think there's great value with that. I mean, they're going to be playing heads up anyway for the most part. So I think that if you're going to get into the game right now of picking a winner, I think Colin Morikawa is the way to go if you want to have some skin in the game tomorrow. 4.5 to 1 is real solid for one of the best ball strikers on tour, and he is currently 5 strokes back. It's a lot, but I think it's a good spot there. So if you're going to take somebody to get some value, he's your guy. And we got a guy checking in here. Eyes on the prize, 13. Any shot Fitzpatrick can close the gap tomorrow. All right, well, let me see now. So his putting's been unbelievable, but he's always been a really good putter, Fitzpatrick. Let's see. Let me get you more of the numbers that go along with that. Thanks for the question, by the way. Let's see here. He actually hasn't. Let me see. I only have his round 3 numbers. Well, he's actually gaining almost 6 strokes putting, which is pretty outrageous, but he's in that category of one putters on tour. So I don't feel like that's pretty outrageous numbers, but he's one of the best putters on tour. The only numbers that really concern me are his strokes gain approach numbers. He's almost losing a stroke on approach, which isn't that great. He's almost losing a strokes gain around the green as well, but his off the tee game's been fantastic. He's gaining over 3.5 strokes, and that's what's really saving his round for the most part. And he's at -10. I mean, if he gets a hot putter, he is a gamer. He does play best when the competition is high. This has been a really good tournament, a really good showing for the most part, especially after the Masters, which is always good as well. So yeah, I think his putter still needs to stay really hot. If he has any shot of closing the gap tomorrow, I would say he really needs to have his approach game be completely fixed over here, because right now he's just losing a stroke, and at a course where you need to have a really good approach shot. It seems like he's doing really well off the tee, so it means he's probably hitting a lot of fairways with some distance as well. So that's the first step at this course: hit those fairways, and he's doing that very well. So today he lost a little over 1 stroke, so that's pretty much what he's been doing all week, it looks like. So yeah, the approach game, if it gets fixed and his putter stays somewhat decent, doesn't have to be what his number is now at over almost 6 strokes game putting, but I wouldn't mind putting a little skin in the game for him as well. I think he has a shot. If you're looking for a longer shot, he's 11 to 1, and he's at -10. Yeah, I mean, he has a high enough putter. I think I would more invest into maybe a Webb Simpson since he's pretty much the course horse here for the most part. But I would say that would be my guy, Webb Simpson there. But you know what? Fitzpatrick, for the value, I think that's probably as high as you can go. I mean, Connors, let me see what Connors is at. Connors is at 10 as well. I'd rather have Fitzpatrick there as well. I think him and Webb Simpson are the cream of the crop there. I still don't really trust Sungjae Im that much. Matt Wallace, Grillo, I mean, nothing that amazing. But thanks for checking in, Eye on the Prize. I appreciate it. I love the questions. But yeah, so that's where we're at with the tournament right now. But I want to get into some more matchup plays, and going to ride the hot hand once again. And there was actually, let me see how many matchups I was looking at here. So I was looking at 6 matchups that I liked, and I'm gonna pretty much cut it down to 3 of them that I really like. I gave out 5 today, went 3-0-2, 3 wins, two pushes. So I have 6 that I'm looking at. And I just really want to break down why I like these matchups. So the first one, well, let me first have a delicious Yingling. It's fantastic. Beer of the Heat Ratio Network over here. Very good. One of my favorite lagers. Classic. So we got Luke List -152 versus Robert Streb. So why I like this play. So when I look at what happened this tournament, I'm going to just bring up their stuff right now. Okay. So I'm looking through what happened this tournament. Something that really stands out to me is that Luke List is losing 4 strokes putting while Strub is gaining over 3.5 strokes. And they're both been bad off the tee, but Robert's just been a lot worse with losing over 2.5 strokes. The strokes gain approach, which I talked about, which is really important. Luke List is getting 4 strokes on strokes gain approach right there. And around the green, he's about even as well, Luke List, and Streb is just over minus 1.5 strokes. So when you put all this together, the strokes gain tee to green, which kind of really tells the story at the end of the day. Luke List is almost 3 strokes strokes gain tee to green, and meanwhile Robert Streb is almost 4 strokes negative strokes gain tee to green. I think that's important. Both of these guys, well, actually, Luke List is actually down a stroke, and he's been actually hitting a lot better than him, and his numbers are showing that. And he's still down a stroke. Imagine if he gets the putter somewhat decent. So when I looked at this matchup anyway, if I were to get these guys playing heads up, just randomly, just looking to see, I'm going to put them together based on their recent play since January 1st, 2020. So recent play for the most part. All right, we're back there. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so here we go. So I'm having Luke List here as a minus 188 favorite right here against this kind of matchup at any course. If they were to go heads up at a neutral, any kind of course for the most part. And the line for this matchup is less than this. So we're actually getting a lot of value here. Minus 152. So from minus 152 to minus 188, that's like you're getting 30 right there off the juice right there in yourself. You're getting value at minus 152. You would never really think you're getting value at minus 152, but based on this matchup, I really like that as well. And then when I'm looking, a little bit closer at the stats of what these guys have done before. So I'm going to look at Luke List first. Luke List, he's currently at minus 4 strokes gain putting, which is pretty crazy. But let's see what he's done. He really hasn't lost four strokes putting, and then especially within the course of 3 rounds. This is really unheard of ground for Luke List, and I like that kind of value because people are going to go against a guy like that is shown on TV that's not hitting his putts as well. So I like that. That's what I'm going for when I do these for the most part. When I look at these Pete Dye courses, see what numbers he's had through there at this time. He doesn't even come remotely close to that. His worst outing was in a more recent time in 2019. I would say it is like 2.5 strokes. It's really not that much. So you're getting a guy that's going to probably put a lot better, and he's already playing a much better game than him. So much better than Robert. So I will take that to the bank there. And just to look at what Streb does here, because we got to look at the other end as well. Pete Dye courses, and he's been putting over 3.5 strokes putting. So let's see if he's done that ever at these Pete Dye courses. No, he's never even gone that high, and this is over a three round average. So he's already putting way over his head right now, and you're getting value with Luke List. I love that. So what I like here, I'm going to put that in right now. So Luke List minus 152. See 152 for Streb. That is definitely one of my plays. I love this play. Lock it up. So I like that play a lot there. I think it's a really strong play. Yeah, Streb just has never putted this well at these kind of courses, and just just to be sure, just his recent form at all courses. at his courses over here. Let's see. Just recent courses. No, it doesn't even come remotely close. His best round was recently 2.82, one round at the Sony Open, which was a lesser of a course. And besides that, he had one round at the Honda that was 1.3 strokes putting. This is a slam dunk. Luke List minus 152. I know the juice might seem high to a kind of a new better to the golf world, but you know what? You're actually getting value here based on his putting game that's just not been good, and that's definitely a play that I'm going to be looking to play. So another play that I was looking at as well, Ryan Moore, minus 152 versus Harry Higgs. This was one of my matchups today. They ended up pushing, so I'm not real crazy about going back to the well for the most part, but this was a matchup that Ryan Moore was up a stroke most of the time, but unfortunately did not hold on for the most part. So if you're going to look at their numbers right now, so I took this personally today because of this reason over here. So let me put this in right now. So Moore. So they were both currently at -2. Higgs is almost putting over 3. It's 2.81 strokes game putting, while Moore is minus 3.38 strokes putting. That's the big flip right there. Moore has been better than him on strokes game approach, and that's pretty much it for the most part. That's why this was a play I originally liked, but when I look at the heads up matchup with them actually playing, I believe I saw value with Moore. So let me just double check that there. Moore. Yeah, so Moore should be a minus 126 favorite, and we would have him at. Oh, well, actually, no, I stand corrected. I would personally probably stay away from this then because you know the juice actually went up from it being tied today. I knew that was kind of fishy today, but that was a play I was looking at, but we're going to stay away from that one. That's one of my 6 matchups I was looking at, but you know what? We're going to stay away from that. We're staying with the Luke List matchup, so we can cross that off right there. So I'm going to take that Ryan Moore matchup. We already sweat that out today. We don't need to sweat that out again. And another one I'm looking at, Charles Howell III plus 102 versus Ian Poulter. Now, this is pretty crazy over here. So Howell III and Ian Poulter, guy who's been playing really well of late. Since the match play, he's been really solid. So Ian Poulter's putting almost 9 strokes game putting. And besides that, he's been absolutely terrible, losing almost 4 strokes off the tee, approach, and then he's almost losing a stroke around the green. Really, the only thing he's doing well is putting, and it's really outrageous. Literally, he's -3. He probably shouldn't even make the cut, honestly, if he wasn't putting this crazy. And his strokes gained tee to green he's losing over 8 stroke game tee to green, which is horrible. I'm shocked he's still in the tournament. And he got a +2 today, so a little bit of a reality check. And now that I'm going to look at Charles Howell III, he is a little over 2.5 gain stroke putting, still really good. His around the green game's better, slightly better. His approach shots are better, and his off the tee, he's almost getting 4 strokes better than Ian Poulter off the tee. So I think that's important. Like I said, and I'll say it again, fairway hits are very important at this course. If you can hit those fairways, it makes it a heck of a lot easier to play at RBC Heritage to get those birdies. And his strokes gained tee to green is a little under -2 strokes game putting. So both of them really haven't played that well. If I'm looking at the heads up matchup just in general, see what the book should probably have this at. Hold on one second. So at plus 128, I felt like that was kind of fishy that he's only plus 102 right there. So, and I think this is a spot where you fade a golfer that's been putting out of his mind for the most part. So I think the fact that you are facing a golfer that pretty much only did putting well, and that's pretty much keeping him in it the whole time, I think that's a big issue. So I think that's something worth attacking, but I don't think it's still going to make my cut as far as picks. So we still have the Luke List play that is still going on. All right, so now we're going to move on to the next one here. Let's see. We got Brendan Todd minus 129 versus Denny McCarthy over here. We're looking to see what they have done so far here. Todd. Okay. They're both at -6. Very good showings here. Surprisingly enough, Brandon Todd, who's a great putter on tour, is in the negatives this week. He's losing a little over half a stroke game putting. And as far as off the tee, he is about even with McCarthy. And right now, McCarthy is losing almost 2.5 strokes gain approach. So that's alarming as well for McCarthy. And they're about even with around the green. But the big number that comes up to me is strokes gained tee to green, the whole picture for the most part. We got Brendan Todd, a little over 4.5 strokes gained positive for strokes gained tee to green. And meanwhile, McCarthy's only about 1.25 positive strokes gained tee to green. So I feel like there's some value there as well, because I feel like Brendan Todd's putter could get hot. It's due to get hot. And if I'm looking at him playing heads up here, seeing what the basic line would be. How'd you guys do today with the betting today? I want to know how you guys have been doing. If you guys have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. Brian Todd's supposed to be about a -150 favorite, and we're getting him right now at -129. So there is a lot of value there. So based on that alone, I like that play. We'll keep it in mind. But right now, Luke List versus Streb is my number one play right now. Just if you're just checking in right now, that's the play I really like right now. So we're gonna move on here. I got two more matchups that I'm looking up as well. Russell Henley -195 versus Tom Lewis. This is a matchup that I really like here. I know the juice is high, but you know what? It's high for a reason. If you're willing to bite the bullet with the juice, I think you should play this play. It's a little under 2-1. I know that's a high kind of bet, but I really do like Russell Henley here. So Russell Henley is putting over -3.5 strokes gain putting, while Lewis is over 1.5 positive stroke gain putting. And strokes gain off the tee, Henley's a little bit better. But the big thing that's very alarming to me is the strokes gain approach, where Henley is a great ball striker. If you watch my show, I've talked about it before. Russell Henley's a great ball striker. He's currently gaining over 8 strokes gain approach, and he's gaining 5 more strokes than Lewis here based on that. And then because of that, he's gaining over 5 strokes tee to green. He's just a better golfer. The putter should come around. And if you're looking at the matchup in general, I remember seeing this before when I was putting the numbers together. He's a humongous favorite, and I mean like huge favorite. Like right now, you wouldn't even believe me. It's -440 that he should be a favorite, which is crazy. So I think at -190, believe it or not, you're still getting value. So I feel like that's a really good spot there. And if you look at what Henley has done here, just recently, I'm gonna look at his numbers recently here. Russell Henley's been a pretty solid putter. He hasn't lost. He's never lost as many strokes putting that I could see in any recent time. So I think that's very important to realize that he's in a slump that can be fixed. So that is important. So, and if you look at what Lewis has done, Lewis has been a bad putter. I don't think he's been. Where is he at? Let me just double check, see where he's at. So he's at plus 1.65 strokes game putting. I don't even see this. I see it one time at the Farmers Insurance, one round there, and he did it at the Shriners. He had two strokes game putting, but overall he's been a really negative putter for the most part. I expect that to cool down. The better ball striker will rise in Russell Henley, and the fact that his putter has stunk for pretty much a while, I think even if it's slightly better, I think he wins this matchup. So at -195, that is definitely one of my plays. So if you're just checking in right now, Luke List -152 versus Robert Streb. I love that play. That's my first play. My second play is Russell Henley minus 195 versus Tom Lewis. That's my second play there. So those two plays I really like there. I went 3-0 today in my round matchup plays today on off the tee matchups. We're looking to continue that today. So, well, actually tomorrow, if you will. And finally, my last play that I'm looking at over here, Corey Connors minus 152 versus Christian Bezuidenhout. So let's look at what they did here for the week. So Christian Bezuidenhout gained over 4 strokes game putting, while Corey Connors gained 1.38 strokes game putting. So not terrible, but Bezuidenhout is definitely putting really, really well here, really high over his head, and minus. Let's see. So when I'm looking at with strokes gained off the tee, Corey Connors gained 2 more strokes than Christian. And he's also getting 1.5 more strokes to him on approach. And he's also gaining a little under 1 stroke more around the green. So when you're putting this all together, he's getting 4 more strokes tee to green than Christian Bezuidenhout. And they're both actually, Connors is better than him by 1 stroke right now. But I'm pretty much riding the fact that his putter, Christian Bezuidenhout is not going to keep up with that. So let me look at his numbers here. So he's at over 4 gain stroke putting, and I don't really see that anywhere. One round he had at the Arnold Palmer's first round, he gained over 3 strokes, but I don't really feel like that's pretty much all I see from him for the most part. The Wyndham in 2020, he gained 5 strokes 1 round, which is outrageous. But overall, these are really high numbers for the entire week that he's been doing. I don't think he can maintain it for this last round, and I will bet against that. The heads-up matchup, when I put it together and see what the line should be here, all right, we got someone checking in, Risk Advisor 7. I have Lee Westwood and Bryce Barnett at even money. I want to bomb Westwood. Your thoughts? All right, cool. Let's check it out. I like it. So let's see what they have done so far. Westwood and Barnett. Oh, I think it's Garnett. Okay, yeah. Lee Westwood and Garnett. Okay, cool. Yeah, not Barnett, but let's see. Bryce Garnett. Okay, so let's see what we got here. At even money, they're pretty much about the same strokes gained putting. Let's see what else we got here. Garnett is losing more strokes around the green, so Lee Westwood's better than him at that. The approach game, Lee Westwood's approach game has been really bad. So he's losing 2.25 strokes approach, which is not a good sign for this course. But Lee Westwood has been better than him off the tee, where he's getting over 1 stroke gained off the tee for Lee Westwood, and Bryce is losing half a stroke, strokes gained putting, but pretty even. Lee Westwood's been a little bit worse. I'll be honest. If his wife was on, his fiance was on the bag, I'd be like, yeah, lock it up. He hasn't been that great with his son on the bag. Honestly, everything's been kind of falling apart. This is personally a stay away from me, but I mean, I guess you would be getting value with. Let me see what the heads up matchup looks like here. If I put the numbers in here, Westwood and Bryce. Let's see what we get this at. Actually, I have Bryce being a favorite here by like almost minus 120 here. I don't know. I personally, it's a really tight matchup. But if I had to take somebody, I think I would take Bryce. Actually, I wouldn't bomb on Westwood. I know he's like kind of the sexy name right now because he almost won 2 tournaments and everything, but I think the books are begging for you to take him there at even money. It looks kind of easy. Bryce should be the favorite by minus 120. You're actually getting value with Bryce, which would sound really strange, but I would actually take Bryce there, Risk Advisor. But thank you for checking in. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's a kind of a tricky play over there because they're both pretty even. He's a slight favorite price, but he should be minus 120, and he's probably about even money, I assume, because I assume they're both even money. Maybe, I don't know. I would have to look at it. Let me see if he's actually on there on DraftKings. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's off a different book then. Let me see. Lee West. Oh yeah. You know what? I bet you it's probably on another book. I'm just using DraftKings as an example. No problem, man. Glad I could help. Good luck tomorrow. Hopefully you cash tomorrow with that play. Either way. So I'm rooting for you. Thank you. All right. And we're going to be looking at the last play that I was talking about here. So when I was looking at the Corey Connors matchup, so Corey Connors has been actually pretty awesome. He's a really good ball striker. His putter is usually like the worst part of things, but he has actually been, I think he's been putting a lot better. Let me look at his recent numbers, Connors, as far as putting goes. Maybe you might get a good late surgeons for a Sunday. So let's see. Yeah, not too bad. He's had a good amount of positives. His worst strokes gained putting has been a little over 2.5 negative strokes. He is currently at, I had the Lee Westwood Garnet stuff. Let me see. So Connors, Zaydenhout. All right, so he's at 1.38. Yeah, I think that's probably right around where he should be putting wise. As far as Bazanu goes, I think that number is really high for his putter. I'm mostly just betting against Christian because I don't think he could have a good enough putter there. I'm looking at the approach numbers. Connors is better than him there. He's a lot better than him off the tee, which is really important. And that's the first step of this course. Got to be accurate. And yeah, around the green, he's like a stroke better than him as well. So those are two things that I'm looking at when it comes to this matchup. So Corey Connors, I really like this play a lot. And at minus 152, I'm all for it as well. So for the 3 plays that I really like here, I like Luke List minus 152 versus Streb. I like Russell Henley minus 195 versus Tom Lewis. And I like Corey Connors versus Corey Connors minus 152 versus Christian Bezadenhout. So I know some of these are really high juice, and if you're feeling froggy, oh yeah, absolutely, sure. Risk Advisor, last one, Straka versus Grace. Yeah, no problem, man. No doubt. Absolutely. More than happy to help. Let's check it out. So we got Brandon Grace and Sepp Straka. Okay. With a -3 so far. We got, as far as the putting matchup goes, Grace is losing a stroke putting while Sepp Straka is gaining half a stroke, so pretty close. The approach numbers is a lot better with Brandon Grace. He's gaining almost 3 strokes more than him. But on the other hand, Sepp Straka is gaining almost 4 more strokes than him. Actually, a little over than. So pretty much Sepp Straka, he's gaining 3.5 strokes off the tee, and Brandon Grace is losing negative 0.81. So that ends up being over 4 strokes gain off the tee, and that's pretty alarming in itself. So this is a tight matchup. Brandon Grace is plus 185 for strokes gain tee to green, while let's see, Straka is only just a little over even on strokes gain tee to green. So tough matchup. We'll see what we see with the actual heads-up play. Straka and Grace. I mean, Brandon Grace would probably be the way I would be leaning, but oh, here we go. Sepp Straka is minus 126. He should be minus 126 against Brandon Grace. So that's pretty interesting to see. What's that line on Straka? Can you type that in? Because I'm curious, unless it's on DraftKings. Let me see. Straka. Okay, I do see it. Okay. So Brandon Grace is a minus 129 favorite over Seb Straka. Okay. That's interesting. So it's like the line flipped completely. Whew. Seb Straka is plus 102. All right, let me see. So since their putters are both about pretty much the same, yeah, Grace is minus 105 for you. Okay, that changes a lot of things. Okay. So then they're probably about even. Then you're getting the value on Seb Straka. I feel like you should probably take Seb Straka just based on the value. Seb Straka is a lot better off the tee, and I've talked about it before. You got to be really good off the tee. That's going to be very important because you got to hit those fairways. That's the first step because these guys don't hit these fairways and they go into the woods, then they got to lay up, and that takes a stroke right off the bat. And right now, his putter isn't anything amazing, so he could have a really hot putting day. His around the green game's been kind of garbage, Seth. He's been almost minus 3 around the green. But, if he's ball striking really well, then, the around the green game's not going to be that much of a concern. I would take Seb Straka in this spot. That would be my choice. It's still kind of too close to call for me, but if that's the case, then I would probably take Seb Straka here. Oh, yes. Nice. Heat ratio. What up? Yeah, what up is right. Just winning and winning on the heat ratio network, having a delicious Yingling. That's what I'm doing as well. Having a good time, cashing tickets for the people. That's all I'm about here. Thanks, man. Back to the UFC. Yeah, I unfortunately don't do any handicapping with that. You got to follow my man Mark Drumheller, who's on the Heat Ratio Network. He does betting for breakfast. He's the UFC guy that I go to. So Mark Drumheller, he's the guy on Twitter and everywhere else. He's my UFC dude. Good people. Do a lot of football with him. Good stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. If you guys have any other questions regarding any other plays, that's pretty much what I'm looking at. The recap once again, we got Luke List minus 152 versus Robert Streb. That's my favorite play. Russell Henley minus 195 versus Tom Lewis. That's my second favorite play. And Corey Connors minus 152 versus Christian Bezadenhout. Corey Connors is minus 152. If you don't want to risk that kind of juice on each one of those plays, then you can parlay it. I'm going to be parlaying because I feel real confident with them. I'm riding the hot hand. If you put them all three together, you parlay those three plays, you get plus 304. You get a little over 3-1 on your money. You're getting these huge favorites, pretty much being a little bit better than even money, and I think that's big because you're even getting a Russell Henley. He should be a 2. He is a 2-1 favorite here, and I think if you can get him at 1-1 right there and play these other plays, that would be great. So I'm all for it. I'm gonna play the parlay. I parlay today and it paid off. So I'm happy with that, and you guys should be playing these plays as well. So the tee times. Let me get you the tee times for these guys over here. So we got the list matchup. That is going to be at the tee times, are they even up yet? Okay, let's see. All right, 9:10 a.m. for the Luke List matchup. So that's gonna be nice and bright and early. 9:10 a.m. Okay, and then we got the Russell Henley matchup, the one with almost your lane 2-1 against Tom Lewis. That's gonna be at 12:15 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Time matchups here. And hey, if you guys have any Phillies bets at all, I'm looking for a Phillies bet to play tomorrow. So I'm going to the game tomorrow. I want to have a little wager on it. So if anybody has a good bet for the Phillies tomorrow, I'm all ears for it. And Corey Connors, let's see, Corey Connors. That matchup is at 130. Okay, so you got a whole day sweat right there. You literally got a 9:10 tea time, you got a 12:15 tea time, and then you got a 1:30 tea time. So there's great hedging opportunity as well. So keep that in mind as well. If you're going to parlay these three like me, then you're gonna have a good hedge opportunity because the Russell Henley one, I feel like you should run away with that, and you should get even more time, maybe even time if he's up like 3 or 4 strokes. Maybe you can hedge right then there before tea time and then automatically cash. So that's where I'm looking at there, but I'm gonna let it ride. I think it's gonna be a good play. Thanks again, guys, for listening. If you guys have any questions about bets before I sign off right now, then please ask. I had a risk advisor. He had a couple questions based on plays. Hopefully I answered those well for him over there. I imagine I did, because I have all the tools here and the background and, just the betting knowledge of this sport. So I feel like that's important. So thanks again, guys. Heat Ratio Network, always awesome. Tons of great programming for basketball, golf, all sports betting, all sports talk debate. It's all right here on Heat Ratio. I couldn't even be more happier to be part of this program, this live format. I absolutely love it. And thank you again, guys, for listening. And let's go make that money.